Headphone highlights. All right. Twang. The camera's always like positioned a little bit differently, so I get a little twisty-turny. Anyway, today we're wearing something that looks maybe a little bit similar to last time. These are the Hifiman HE35Xs. They're another planar magnetic headphone. They have a very similar shape to the HE4XXs that we highlighted was it last week? I think so. Yeah, last week. With some differences. But, same driver technology, same, basically the same kind of form factor. And they're Hifiman as well, so same manufacturer, same brand. It has the X on there, so you know that this is yet another drop collaboration project. I don't even know if you can get this one anymore, though. Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it for a while. So yeah, they seem a little similar to the 4XXs. This form factor is very much the same. The pads are, I think, identical. They both have a grill. They both have, I believe, the same, probably not the same drivers, but very similar drivers. That's kind of where the similarities actually end, though. So let's talk about the build a little bit. Let's see. The housing for the drivers, plastic. Much cheaper plastic than that of the HE4Xs. Moving up from there, our connecting bracket to get to those cups is plastic. Very cheap plastic. The bracket on the HE4XXs is a steel bar in comparison. You know what? I'm going to get that off the wall because we're going to have to kind of look at that a little bit here in a minute. Oh, okay. Four XXs. As you remember, I said how much I love these. Anyway, so cheap plastic. Cheap plastic. Little connector right here with the headphone, model number on it. Cheap plastic. Then you got this, I guess, spring steel maybe. Headband. That's a bit of an interesting shape. When you wear it, it does this. So it's got this kind of square shape on your head, which is it's fine. It's totally functional. This is one of the biggest differences in the build is the headband section. If you remember, with the 4XXs, you got the steel bar that goes up into this tension socket, which was the failing point in the headphone. A lot of times when these headphones break, it's usually right here. So I guess you could say they tried to address that with what they did with this headband. So now instead of having the metal steel bar going up through a plastic tension, you have a spring steel slot. What do you call it? Like a spring steel cut out slice of metal with this little plastic bit here that, rather than it being a seamless adjustment like it was with the 4XXs, now if you look, you can see there's little holes, and this has little nubs inside of it, and it just kind of fits in those holes for adjustment. So just kind of click, click, click. Not a super satisfying click, but it's, it clicks around. I would say this is a lot less likely to break I think, than the one on the 4XXs. I think it's a much cheaper solution, though. And rather than having a metal bar going through a plastic tensioning section, whatever, you have instead a metal bar that's stationary and a little plastic bit with little plastic nubs that's going through these tiny little holes and just gradually scraping it away. And I feel like over time that material is just going to get worn away and this is going to become very, very loose. But, you know, if you set it to the position you like and you just leave it there forever, it'll be fine. No big deal. So headband's a little weird. However, where they definitely did improve it, we have a head strap. Comfort strap. And it's a pretty nice comfort strap. It's very simple. It's not anything fancy, but it's very pliable. It's very wide. That's always nice. Kind of really covers the top of your head. It's forms to whatever head shape you are. And it's just kind of this nice, soft. I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of padded. It's got like just the thinnest little layer of padding underneath it, which, you know, really with a comfort strap, you don't really need padding. So if there is padding, I guess that's kind of just a bonus. So yeah, there's a tiny bit of padding in here, but it's very soft. So the strap, great. Strap is a very big improvement. So, and then pads, like I said, the pads are, I'm pretty sure, pretty much exactly the same. They're even angled the same way, same materials. That's still that hybrid pad system where you got the leather that goes into the, is it perforated? Oh, so you got your solid leather, which goes into a velour, which then on the inside, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Nope, you're not going to be able to see this. And the inside here is perforated leather. So it's a hybrid pad for sure. So yeah, in terms of build, quite a bit different. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of plastic on this one, but the plastic on this feels significantly cheaper. This, as I said in my highlight last week, it feels like it's got some heft to it. It feels like it's holding a pistol in your hand. This feels like you're holding a toy. So, sure, maybe that's not great, but hey, it's plastic, so that's lighter, right? There's less metal parts. The plastic maybe isn't as dense, so maybe it's lighter. And let's do a quick test on that. Okay. And the 4XXs, don't you dare. I do not notice a significant weight difference. Just saying. What I am noticing though, another thing different about the build I didn't mention. I don't know why they decided to do this. It's not a big deal. It's just a little annoying for me because it means I can't use the same cable with these that I can with my 4XXs. Even though they're very similar headphones, I can't use the same cable because for whatever reason, with the 35Xs, they decided to go with the 3.5mm termination instead of the 2.5. I mean, it's fine. It's an easily accessible cable. It's just a little annoying that you can't just swap out the same cable for what is a very similar headphone. So, okay. They're not really that much lighter. How do they deal with comfort? How do they compare for comfort? As I said before, with the 4XXs, the comfort on those was quite good for what they were. For being a big, heavy planar headphone, they were very comfortable. Despite how robust they look. These feel like they should be a lot lighter, a lot more comfortable. The head strap, much better, much more comfortable, for sure. The pads are the same, so you can't really judge too much on that. However, I suppose if I wanted to, I could kind of grab them here and really bend the hell out of this, and that might help a bit, but the clamp force is a little weird. It's not really that much forceful of a clamp than it is with the 4XXs. It just doesn't feel as... This feels like a very linear clamp. It is just going to go the way it wants to go. It's not going to adjust to my head shape. I feel like the 4XXs adjust a bit more with the head shape. So it doesn't... The 4XXs just feel more comfortable around the ear than these do on my head. So they're not as comfortable as the 4XXs, even with the head strap, if you're asking me. I think that the 4XXs are more comfortable. Okay, where they sit on the cloud comfort, I said that the 4XXs are an 8. Is that what I said? Or say they were 7.5? I don't remember. 7.5, 8, something like that. I'm going to put these with... So our basic benchmark is the Sennheiser's. Sennheiser X6XX is a 6 out of 10 comfort clouds. I'll give this a 5.5. Well, it's almost a 6. It's a 5.5 comfort cloud, almost a 6. Because it doesn't, excuse me, it doesn't have the same clamp force that the 6XXs have, but it's just not as comfortable around the ear. And the headband's a lot better. Even though, well, the head strap is a lot better. The headband's a little weird, but it's functional, I suppose. Okay, so they're made more cheaply. They're not as comfortable. Do they sound better? Well, I had kind of a weird back and forth with these. At first, I really wasn't liking how they sounded. I found some stuff that I thought worked for it. And I still do. I still think that that works for it. Where these really excel is with, like, lo-fi hip-hop. Like, if you listen to Lo-Fi Girl, the streaming music channel on YouTube, these really excel with that kind of music. Just, like, chill, I don't know what you would call it. Just really chill, like, the coffee store ambient music. Sounds great with these. However, with everything else, these sound much better. These have a lot more presence, a lot more depth, a lot more character. These sound on quite a few things pretty tinny, almost like it's echoing in an aluminum chamber of some sort. Not on everything, but on some things it's a little. Are these the ones that you were wearing yesterday? Yes, they are. These are the ones you were wearing yesterday. So they don't live up to the 4XXs in terms of sound. But, you know, we can excuse that if they're a lot more affordable, right? That makes sense. Cheaper plastic, cheaper construction, cheaper headband. I don't really want to say cheaper sound, but it doesn't really sound quite as good. Maybe they're just a lot cheaper, right? And that's where it makes sense. That's where the price difference is. Well, the 4XXs sell for about $150. Okay, $150. 35Xs, when I got them, they were $130. $20 cheaper. They're a perfectly fine headphone. You know, they're fine. They're good beginner planar headphone. The problem with these headphones is that these exist. The 4XXs exist, and for $20 more, I will pick the 4XXs 100% of the time, every time. I don't know why you would ever go with these when you can just go with these. That's really the problem here. They just don't have the same amount of marks getting checked that the 4XXs have. I guess the one thing I could say is, you know, in my highlight before I mentioned that the 4XXs are a little warm. And if you're someone that just hates warmth, if you don't want to have any warmth and you want something that just sounds a lot more cool, a lot more chilled, these sound a lot more chilled. So if you just cannot stand some warmth, if you cannot stand just some more bass presence, here you go, I guess. I think that they sound kind of tinny in comparison, not just brighter. I mean, not just cooler, but downright tinny. So I don't think it's worth saving $20 for this. I think you should, if you have the opportunity, you should go with the 4XXs. But if you can't stand that extra warmth, then maybe this is for you. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes, you know, more often than not, it's when you have competing brands in a similar price range and they sound very similar or they're very close, and one's just flat out better than the other. It just so happens that in this situation we have the same manufacturer, the same brand, working with the same people, making what is just not as good of a headphone for not that much less money. You know? You can't stand warmth. My heart is made of ice. Well, even then, they're fine. They just, when they're existing in the same world as these, I don't see the point. And maybe that's why you don't see them anymore. I haven't seen them on mass drop for quite a while. I haven't seen them on sale for quite a while. I think they kind of also made the discovery that, you know what? This isn't really working out. I don't know. But that's where we are. 35Xs, they're okay. They don't make sense with where they sit in the marketplace. If these were like $60, sure, yeah. Hell yeah. $60? Definitely. But I don't know if you could really do this for $60. Planar technology is more expensive to produce than dynamic driver technology. So I don't know, but it is what it is. I just love my little 4XXs. I think that's really what it's come down to. I'm a big 4XXs fanboy. Mwah. My babies. Okay. There. See? Quick headphone highlight. We are moving on to go get us jack. Okay.